Before we jump into this episode, I want to invite you to join our community to help you become a better steward, scale to billions, and ultimately give more or all of it away. All I want you to do is to click the subscribe button right now. I love your support. It's incredible to see your comments, and we're just getting started. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Thank you so much for subscribing. It means the world to me. Welcome to the Build to Billions podcast, where we guide successful entrepreneurs and investors on their journey from millions to billions. We believe the key to scaling and compounding your wealth and life starts every single day with a mindset and practice of stewardship over ownership and applying billionaire biblical principles. Our ultimate goal is to have you scale and compound your wealth and life so you can give more of all of it away to help MVPs. My name is Brett Swartz. Every episode, I have the privilege of interviewing some of the world's top entrepreneurs, millionaires, and billionaires, and they share their secrets, insights, and wisdom with us so we can all level up and make a bigger impact. I'm excited about our next guest. He's an executive performance advisor, best-selling author, and speaker who ignites peak performance and so businesses can scale and leaders can thrive. He's the founder of Ignite 5 and host of the Live Fit Ignite Change podcast. And he has worked with executives, leadership teams, and professional athletes to install performance and growth systems that drive lasting results. One of his last campaigns for a Fortune 100 company program helped the organization achieve 300% plus growth and so much more. Please welcome to the show with me, Patrick O'Donnell. Patrick, how are you doing?
Awesome, Brett. So good to be here, and thanks for having me. Looking forward to this.
Absolutely. It's Patrick O'Donnell III, everyone, just so you know. You can learn more about him by going to ignite5.com/Brett for some free bonuses, which we're talking about here in a little while. Hey, Patrick, for our listeners getting to know you for the first time, maybe tell us perhaps a little bit more about your story and your current focus.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I kind of grew up in the real estate space. My father is a high-end custom home builder, so that was my first job back in high school. And then after graduating from Georgia Tech, really spent like 20 plus years in the performance and growth space for companies. And then it was after a pretty cool time. My wife and I actually wanted to travel the world for a year with our two boys. So we did that. But then when I came back, the whole idea was, how do we really make an impact? And I joined a firm that was doing that, DOP Capital. They're an impact-driven, vertically integrated real estate investment firm that is really focused on transforming lives. And so when I was there, we were doing about 500 million in assets under management. And then 5 years later, it was over 5 billion. So a pretty incredible 10x run in an AUM. And my role there was basically training the team members and the operators on the performance and growth system. And so now that's what I do with my own firm, Ignite 5, still working with DOP, but now also doing it with other firms, kind of doing what I was doing there, really, like we say, helping companies scale and founders thrive. And it is through peak performance, growth systems, and really now incorporating so much of the latest in AI as well, following our 5-step framework. So that's why we call it Ignite 5.
Amazing. Let's dive right into that. And so, what's the secret to implementing an elite execution system that is able to do that type of growth, and which use DLP as the case study as our dear friends and strategic alliance of capital gains tax solutions? So walk us through maybe the first, either secret or thought on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's great getting to know you through that. And they have been fabulous throughout this process. And Don Winter, as you know, the CEO at DOP, is the one who created the elite execution system. And what he found was that it's based on several other systems, like, you might know EOS by Gina Wickman, or Scaling Up by Vern Harnish, throwing a little Jim Collins, John Maxwell, and some of the others. And that is what allowed everyone to really not just scale their business, but that's why I say leaders thrive, because there is this other component to it about, we can't just have people scaling and burning themselves out or burning their leaders out. So that's really kind of the core essence of it. And if you talk about how we've applied that to our Ignite 5 framework, the first one is simply identify. And you will always go through anything in life or in business, let's identify what's going on. So for example, if we're looking at the peak performance side with leaders who might have an incredibly successful business, but something's wrong with their health, then let's figure out what that is, where the gaps are. Same thing on the business side. They could be growing, but feeling there's gross constraints. Too much is falling back on the founder, or the team isn't accountable, or maybe the sales and marketing system isn't providing the leads that they need. So that's the part. Figure out where that is, what the gaps are, and then that's when it comes to the part we talk about the life assessment, the growth diagnostic. Just simply identify where the gap is, and then you plug in what that may be. Is it team accountability? Is it the sales and marketing system? And then use that protocols and systems, now aided by AI, to be able to close the gaps. So that's really where it all begins.
That makes sense. So just identifying the gaps, right? Identifying the challenges and then figuring out what play to run to improve that. Let's focus like a laser on sales and marketing systems and keep applying this on how DLP was able to. So if you like this little short clip of the interview I just did, click over here to watch the full interview. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much, everybody.